Hi, trying a slightly different video setup this time. I hope it works okay. I've been catching up on the last few films for 2019, and something that's popped up into my Netflix queue recently is Apollo 11. It's a documentary about the first manned moon landing, and it's assembled entirely from documentation and audiovisual material collected at the time. So it's contemporary film footage, sound recordings of the mission itself, um, logs, a small amount of animation that was created in retrospect, and it's attracted a huge amount of acclaim, and I think it works extremely well as a document of the mission itself. But it is almost totally lacking in the human element, and this is the big stumbling block I had with it. There's there's no voiceover, there's no narration, there's no retrospective interview footage. It's entirely assembled from the material that existed at the time, but it feels more like a mission report, like a logbook, than any kind of story. And because it totally lacks any human element, there's no dramatization, of course. We only see people doing their jobs, working hard, concentrating, focusing on the job in hand, as of course they must. Um, there's no emotional element to it, and given that it's one of the most famous missions in history, everyone knows how it turned out. Of course we do. So we get no new insight, we get no uh, additional information of which we were not already aware. The result is something that is valuable as a document with all this brilliantly remastered footage and audio and photographs. Is immensely valuable as a document of this unbelievable event in history. It boggles the mind to think 50 years later that they actually managed it. They actually managed to land a man on the moon. I'm actually reminded of the headline of The Onion, which they produced a parody front newspaper for the following day, which the headline read, "Holy shit, man walks on the fucking moon." Subheadline, Armstrong's first words, "Holy fucking shit." It, it boggles the mind still. But because it's so well known, because the story's been told so many times in so many different ways, it needed something new, it needed something fresh. And just using the data is not a way of telling the story in a fresh way. It's a textbook. It's a valuable textbook, and it was one that was worth doing, I think. But that doesn't make it, I don't think, in any way a great film.